Got some breaking news out of the entertainment world. Passed away at the age of 76. Um, I think we all know Ozzy Osbourne. What the crazy part about this, I was at a bar. I was at a bar and we got to talking about just music in its entirety. And I brought up the fact that I wanted to listen to some Black Sabbath. And interesting enough, just a couple of days later, Ozzy Osbourne has passed away. And like I said, man, if you're not an Ozzy Osbourne fan, it's kind of crazy, um, because so many people have made a you know recreated one of the greatest songs of all time, and I think we all know the antics that's surrounded by Ozzy Osbourne. He was uh, diagnosed with Parkinson's disease in 2020. Um, and just look at his career over, just over throughout the years. Um, where am I getting this from? Um, it's all over, sir. It's all over. All right, so just take the time out and pull it up on your uh screen. All right, but according to several audiences and several sources, he has indeed passed away. I think if you have been keeping up with Ozzy Osbourne, he's infamous for quite a few things, and you got the infamous bat situation where he didn't know. We come to find out he bit the head off a bat in a as it was a meeting to see if we could get a contract and whatnot, a music contract, and he ended up biting the head up off of a live bat. He didn't know it was a live bat, but he ended up doing it, and the infamous blood on the lip. Um, he end up securing him. And like I said, so many other things. Well, like I said, Black Sabbath is just one of those groups um, that is look at it's uh, Tony. How you doing, brother? Linux. How you doing, brother? But like I said, it's 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 just recent news, so it's just come out. All right. So me personally, I don't put out anything that it is if it's not confirmed, but there's been quite a few people, quite a few news organizations, and if you don't know, he did a last concert, and from what I understand, and I don't know this to be the complete, but for what I do know with this, he had been dealing with it, and he tried to get um a uh, uh, a a surgery that didn't go well, and it kind of accelerated the process and whatnot. You've got so many guys. And how you doing, Sonya? How you doing? And like I said, yeah, I love Ozzy. I like I said, I'm I know there's more black people that listens to heavy metal, but I'm a rock heavy metal. I just love music, and Ozzy was one of those guys. Look, I was stuck, and I'm talking about stuck watching, he and Sharon and their reality shows and whatnot. And like I said, man. Uh, we lost the legend. And like I said, Parkinson's disease is one of those things where we're getting more and more information on how to deal with it. So it's been publicized to TMZ, and like I said, for me personally, I do not like to put things out there if it's haven't been confirmed. But in a statement from the Osbourne family, he died Tuesday, surrounded by love. Cause of death is unclear. It is with more sadness that we mere words can convey that we have to report that our beloved Ozzy Osbourne has passed away this morning. Okay, so this is from the family, and like I said, Sharon Osbourne. I think she's infamous for quite a few things. A firecracker in her own right. Um, yes, he had Parkinson's. Um, his son Jack, Kelly, Amy Lewis. Um, and again, if you don't know much about, Black Sabbath, I would definitely recommend that you go back and listen to a lot of their albums, a lot of their records. Um, he won 2 Grammy Awards in 2006. Was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Songs like War Pigs, Iron Man. I like if you don't know Iron Man, I think you need to go to this. As a matter of fact, I'm definitely gonna put something on. Paranoid, Children of the Grave, Sweet Leaf, like so many other. Like I said, those was before my time. But when I got to the point where just learning more about rock and music and whatnot, I was addicted. I was addicted, okay? Addicted to Black Sabbath. So it is definitely one of my favorite groups. And like I said, this is something um for me. And like I said, this is something that we've all known at some point in time, especially with Parkinson's. Um, this would come Crazy Train. Oh man, Crazy Train is another one of those great songs. Uh, but like I said, and one thing, my prayers and thoughts is with Sharon because, Ozzy had a long history of drug and alcohol abuse and whatnot. Um, and she was one of the persons that ended up helping him get through that period in his time, period in his life. Like I said, shout out to Sharon for that. And like I said, Bark and Moon. Oh my God, yeah. So like I said, so many other great songs with um Mr. Osborne, and like I said, so many other great songs. Jimmy V, how you doing? Like I said, so many different songs. But like I said, for me personally, this is a legend. And one of the things that I always say, man, just appreciate it. Just appreciate life. Appreciate the legends that's still with us. I mean, just yesterday, within a week, we had the death of an outlaw, young noble who was a part of Tupac Shakur's Outlaw Immortal group. He passed away, and then we end up losing one of our childhood star and Malcolm Jamal Warner. And then a day later, we end up um, losing the Dark Prince, Ozzy Osbourne. And like I said, man, um, yeah, like come on, people, like let's keep it classy, y'all. Okay, keep it classy. Um, I like this nonsense. I like if you can't say anything nice about somebody, just keep comments to yourself. Like I said, man, at the end of the day, Ozzy was a cool dude. But like I said, crazy in love. Yeah, just so many great songs, and so many great memories with Ozzy. And like I said, if you don't remember, if you don't remember the classic, biting the head off of the bat, a live bat, might you add. Like he had no idea that it was a bat, but Ozzy wanted to go in there and make an impact, and good God Almighty, that some bitch made an impact. Okay, he definitely, yeah, Ozzy definitely made an impact. Um, like I said, man, we're gonna block and ban that type of stuff. Like if you can't say anything nice about people, just keep it to yourself. But like I said, man, RP, um, Mr. Osborne, aka the Dark Prince, aka Mr. Ozzy Osbourne. Um, Mama, oh my God, Crafty. Oh, this is definitely one of my favorite songs. Mama, I'm coming home. Oh my God, yeah, that was definitely one of my favorite songs. Now he put his heart and soul into that song. I love that song right there. Um, and like I said, man, Sharon Osbourne, and one thing I've always respect her for, because my own dad had issues with drug and alcohol, and my mom did the exact same for him. When I tell you, she helped transform his own life as far as drug and alcohol is concerned. And one of the main reasons why I don't drink or do drugs, for the most part, um, it's because of this. So, like I said, man, shout out to Sharon Osbourne, man, for just saying something in him that a lot of people did not see. They did not want to deal, and Ozzy wasn't a fucking saint. I think we all fucking know that, but neither one of us are fucking saints in this world. But like I said, man, R.I.P. to a fucking legend, all right? R.I.P. to a fucking legend, okay? Oh man, Captain Insano says I've been listening for this guy for over 40 years. Yes, indeed. And like I said, man, yeah, yeah, man. Like I said, so many different songs and so many different um moments. And like I said, surrounded by his kids. So many, you had a few of them that did not want to be a part of the reality show, and like one thing I do know, being in the entertainment aspect of things and being around people in the entertainment, it is incredibly hard on the children to try to not only live up to those expectations, so um live up to not only the expectations, the fans, and constantly being in the media spotlight. So, like I said, his children, man, his family, being able to deal with this throughout the years, the controversy, the the good moments, the bad moments. Just shout out to them. As like I said, this guy's a legend. Um, he's a freaking legend, and like I said, man, R.I.P. to one of the greatest heavy metal rock stars there ever been. And I like I said, I place him definitely at the top. He's definitely one of my Mount Rushmores as far as heavy metal rock is concerned. So, like I said, man, it's crazy. It's definitely crazy, but he finally gets to rest properly. He finally gets to, not be in pain and struggle and all that types of stuff. Because, like I said, man, being able to deal with those things with Parkinson's and whatnot, I don't know what that's like, but I'm sure that it is Definitely hard. But like I said, man, so many, so many, so many great moments from Ozzy. But like I said, if you are indeed a Black Sabbath fan, I will personally send a couple tweets out there. Don't know if she'll see it, but it's something that I personally do because, like I said, I'm a huge fan of Black Sabbath. I'm a huge fan of Ozzy, and that's all I have to say right now. Y'all continue to support us right here. But the legend himself, Ozzy Osbourne, has passed away. The exact cause are unknown at this particular point. But he had one more moment to go out the way that he wanted, and Ozzy did exactly that. And that's performing for the people. And like I said, shout out to the family, condolences to the family, send all strength, all prayers to um, Mr. Osborne and his family. Like I said, rest well. And that right there is the bottom line. And it is crazy. All right. Yeah. So I appreciate and thank everybody. No, it's all good. It's all good, bro. Don't worry about it. Like I said, man, y'all continue to support your boy right here. And that's all I have to say about that. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna miss the old Oz, man. All right. Black Sabbath forever. I wish I could leave out on some music, but we're gonna get there. Iron Man, Black Sabbath, rest in peace, Ozzy Osbourne. That's all I gotta say about that. Peace.
Put your eyes back in your head.
I felt like flavor.
What, Deidre?
Pry their eyes open and force them to see the truth. We will skin the sheep and sacrifice the weak. The unholy alliance has arrived.